Alright, guys. Andre Ward's finally close to making his comeback again. It's, March 26th on HBO. He's facing the undefeated Cuban, Sullivan Barrera. And this is for 12 rounds. No title, no nothing, just two undefeated guys going at it. Now, a quick look at it. I've never heard of Sullivan before. Looked at his record, tried to find in a few fights. I see he fought old Jeff Lacey, and Caro Murat. And other than that, it's guys that you've literally never have heard of. He is a light heavyweight. Looks like he's been there a while. And Barrera and Ward, they do have some similarities. I'll quick look at him. Barrera is 17-0 with 12 KOs compared to Ward's 28-0 with 15 KOs. And percentage wise, that's a 71 for Barrera, 54 for Andre Ward. Age, they're similar. They're both in their 30s, with the advantage, 2-year advantage going to Andre. He's 32 compared to Barrera at 34. Reach wise, 71 for Ward and 73 for the Cuban. Height wise, I gotta disagree with what's on paper. It has Barrera as 6'2" and Ward as 6 foot even. I've seen footage of Sullivan training with Triple G because they both train under Abel Sanchez, and they look roughly the same size. I mean, muscle wise, obviously Triple G is smaller, but height wise, they looked similar. Maybe Barrera had an inch or two on him, and I know Triple G is not no 6 foot. So if I had to guess, I haven't seen a way off, or not a way off, but a face off between Ward and Sullivan. I'd have to say they're probably the same height. And other than that, the reach, similar to 2-inch advantage to Sullivan, but their resumes and their time as pros is where they separate themselves. Andre has a way better record, better resume, 28 fights compared to 17. And a lot of these fights, are against notable guys. Carl Froch, Kessler, Abraham, Green. Those are guys that he fought in the Super 6 tournament back in 2010-11. And like I said, there's really not any notable wins for Sullivan. Yeah, he has an undefeated record, and his KO ratio looks good on paper, but against who? These guys are literally guys that we've never heard of. It's not like, unknown, like known guys, but they're on the decline or coming off of losses, or they're just never really been that good. And it's not like that. These are guys that we've never even heard of. So, resume wise, Andre Ward has that. Just opponent wise as well too, because it's not just the more fights, it's against who you've had them. So, like, this power does look good on Sullivan's part. On paper, it looks nice, but if you're fighting a bunch of part-time boxers, then how do we know what we're really getting? So, if you're fighting part-timers and nobodies, you should be knocking them out, especially, having an extensive amateur career in Cuba and having an undefeated record as a pro and being known as a power puncher, at least against your opposition. You should be knocking those guys out. Oh, and another thing, this fight is happening in Oakland. Where else? Seems a lot of Ward's fights happen there. It seems to be a pattern, the trend. I don't know if he'll ever go anywhere else. I know he has during the Super 6, but after that, seems like he's been staying home, kind of like Deontay Wilder has, but apparently Wilder is going to Russia. So we'll see if Ward gets past this and ends up traveling around the world to, cement his legacy as not only just a U.S. champ, but as a world champion. And skill-wise, looking at both guys, yeah, I think Ward is sharper, technically sound. I don't think. I mean, I think it's obvious. Barrera is slow. I, the fights that I have seen of him, slow. Not only with his punches, but with his movement. His foot speed as well. Just kind of seems a little, sluggish. Seen him kind of overextend, go too wide, leave himself open a lot. Guys have tagged him. Guys that have losing records or have been coming off of losses, and with only notable wins against the likes of an old past his prime Jeff Lacey and Carl Murat. There's not much to brag about. Those aren't people that you're gonna necessarily write home. You know, that's not a feather in your cap. But the weight wise, people are saying, Ward hasn't fought at light heavyweight. Well, yeah, he has, but it was against Paul Smith, and he asked for a catch weight, 172. Yeah, I know Paul Smith, he was like coming off a fat camp and didn't even make the weight, but Ward did ask for it, and 172 is light heavyweight division. It's just not the full 175. And he has fought other guys in the past, I think, that have missed weight, like Edwin La Bomba Rodriguez. I think came in like 190 come fight night, not on the scales, but who else? Oh, Chad Dawson was a bigger guy. He was the light heavyweight title holder, but he went down all the way. It wasn't like they weight drained him or gave him a catch weight. They dropped him a whole division. So he was at 175, and he dropped all the way to 168. And yeah, I know that a lot of people are saying that Ward didn't ask for that. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I don't care who asked for it. It doesn't matter now. But fact remains is Chad Dawson was weight trained that night. So Ward does have some experience with some bigger guys, 2 or 3 bigger guys. So we'll see how he handles it. My prediction is, looking at him, at the opposition, your opponents, Barrera hasn't faced anyone close to the level of the Arthur Abraham, Frotches, Kesslers that Ward has. Yeah, they're both undefeated, but 28 wins looks a lot better than 17 wins for Sullivan. And Sullivan looks too slow, hasn't fought the opponents, hasn't had nearly as many fights, and he's untested, unproven. Yeah, power looks good on paper. Undefeated record looks good, but hey, Ward has 28 wins compared to your 17. So I almost think this is, I'm not going to say cherry pick or mismatch, but at least, he's an undefeated guy, given that he probably wasn't known before he was chosen to be Ward's opponent. But at least he's an undefeated guy, and we will see Andre back in the ring March 26th, and it's 12 rounds. Not sure if Sullivan has that the stamina to go 12 rounds. So, it's a lot of wait and see. People really think that the Cuban's going to pull off the upset. I don't think so. Looking at who they fought, how many fights they've had, the age, just the skill, the technique, the sloppiness, the lack of credible opponents. I just see it as all disadvantages for the Cuban, Sullivan Barrera. So I got Andre Ward winning this fight. I think it's going to be pretty easy. Could even be a knockout. So that's going to be my official prediction. Andre Ward by late KO or 12-round majority decision. Let me know what you guys think. Sound off on the comments.